How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, I've switched the camera around and stuff so you can actually see my kitchen and stuff like that, because I'm normally sat in the dining room and everything and just sat in a corner like a little hermit. So right, I did a video about how to, like, signs that your loved one might be on drugs in prison. Obviously, if it's your partner or if it's a family member, if he's been on drugs before he's gone into prison, obviously you know that when he gets in prison he's going to carry on taking them. But there are a lot of people that enter the prison system having never taken drugs in their life and become addicted and stuff. Substance abuse is rife amongst prisoners. There's many different reasons, guys, varied reasons why people take drugs in prison. Some are spiked, some are peer pressured into it, some are bullied into it, some take them off their own back, some people do it because it's a coping mechanism, some people do it because they've had horrific lives and stuff, and they're just in prison and your life catches up with you and you take it to block out like bad memories and stuff like that, like your childhood. You might have been suffered violence, you might have grown up in care, sexually abused, things like that. So this is a video to do with signs and stuff that your loved one's on drugs. I did the video yesterday, but I'm not very happy with it, so I'm doing it again. Right, guys, so your loved one is in prison and stuff, right? Now, like I say, some people are quite naive and stuff and don't really pick up on people taking drugs and stuff. But if your loved one's in jail and he's getting on the phone to you or your partner and he's ringing you from prison, listen, I need the money, send me money in, send me some more money in, and they're not bothered about you, they're not asking about you, but all they want from you every time they ring, they're not doing all how's things, how are the kids, how are you, how's your day been. They're just, I need money, send me money, give me money, right? So this is different signs and stuff that your loved one could become addicted to drugs in prison. Now, like I say, a lot of people ask how the drugs get into prison. Now, obviously, there's many different ways. Some partners or family members will come over on a visit. They'll hand them a parcel straight down the pants. If they get caught on CCTV, they get caught. If they get searched after, then they could get found that way. Drones, because of the advancements in technology, drones are actually used and stuff. You've got prison officers that are bringing it in. Certain prisons, you can still get it in over the wall and stuff like that. Like back in the day, people used to throw tennis balls, like slit it open, stuff it with drugs, throw it over a gate, and then like when you're on exercise or something, you can pick it up. You've got things like spice paper, which is like where you can extract the drug from the paper when it gets into the drugs. I've heard about clothes being handed in where the drugs have been sewn into it. People think that like you're in prison and you're a bit thick and a bit stupid, but you might have been caught for that crime, right? But prisons are very clued up. We have cons, tricks and stuff which I won't divulge. And like I say, it's a lot of people. Prisoners are very clever, very resourceful. And it's the old game of cat and mouse for the prison officers, and unfortunately for the prison officers, we're the mouse and we're always one step ahead. So anyway, guys, so if he's asking you to send him money and all that, right, and then like you can see it on a visit, he might be sweating, he might be anxious. If he's kicking off with you on the phone and all he's bothered about is money, right, that's his body craving drugs. Now, some drug dealers in prison, what they'll do, they'll give you the drug on tap, right, which is like, they'll say, right, I'm giving it on tap, mate, when are you going to pay me? Right, you're going to pay me this. If you borrow something in prison, or you get something on lay, you always give double back. So if you borrowed a quarter of tobacco, you'd have to give ½ ounce. If you give ½ ounce, you'd have to give an ounce back and things like that. And same with drugs and stuff like that. But what you get, right? People say, how do you pay for drugs in prison? Now, there's a couple of different ways, right? Now, obviously, if you're getting money in on a frequent basis, right, then what you can do is the drug dealer will come and get the lad, right? Your money will drop over once or twice a week, so you can buy canteen items, toiletries, foodstuffs, things like that. So the drug dealer will go grab the lad and say, right, come on, we're going to the kiosk. The kiosk is like a computer within an aluminium structure on the wing. In certain prisons, they're still doing it on paper and stuff like that, right? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, this kiosk, right? So your orders, the drug dealer will say, right, you check in. So you go into it, right? You use your fingerprint and your CMS number. You go into it, and then the drug dealer will say, right, he'll start picking items, 2 of them, 1 of them, 3 of them, 2 of them, 4 of them, whatever, right? And then at the end of it, the prisoner that owes the money will have to put his fingerprint on the fingerprint scanner so that he checks it out, so that no one can take money or food or order food and stuff without you like thingy. So you check out with your fingerprint, the canteen will come, the drug dealer will come to your cell, say, right, where's my stuff? Then the drug dealer will take the bag and then go back to the cell, and that's one way. The other way is, say you've got a drug dealer on the wing and you've got your loved one. Your loved one might ring you on a mobile phone or even the prison phone. Some people are stupid enough to do that and say, oh, do us a favour, send a postal order in to the drug dealer's name, right? Or the drug dealer's mate, and then just say, right, send the postal order, make it like, put his prison number on the back, here's his prison number, get a pen, here's his last name, send in the postal order to him, and then that's one way you can pay for your drugs that way. The other way, and this does actually go on quite a lot, guys, right? Prisoners, what they'll do, they'll say to you, do us a favour, I'm going to give you a number, you ring this number, right, and then go and meet this person and give them money. Now, I'll break it down for you guys, right? So you've got the drug dealer, say you've got 4 people. You've got the drug dealer in prison, you've got the prisoner, your loved one that's in prison. And then you're his loved one on the outside, right? And then the drug dealer's mate's on the outside, right? So the drug dealer will say to his mate on the out, right, I've passed your number over, right? Your number's being passed over to the lad who wants the drugs, his family, right? They're going to come and meet you or transfer money to your account, right? Once it's hit your account, ring me, text me, or wait for me to ring you and then tell me. So you're the drug user, you ring your family on the out, right? Wire money to this account number or ring this mobile number, go and meet this person, give them money, right? Then this person on the outside rings the drug dealer, or the drug dealer rings him, his mate, and says, yeah, the money's there, right? So the drugs could be handed over that way, or if it's been on lay, then the drug debt will be cleared, right? Goes on that way. Drugs are very addictive in prisons, guys, right? Like I say, spice is a huge epidemic. Every drug you can get on the outside of prison, you can get in prison. Steroids, not like I've not seen intravenous, intramuscular jabs, but I've seen Dianabol, which is big business within prisons and stuff, because obviously not everyone takes drugs to get off the face. Some do it to bodybuild and stuff and get in the gym and get huge and stuff. There's a lot of naive women out there that think that that they'll be getting used, right? There's a lot of prisoners in like relationships with obviously girlfriends on the out and stuff, right? And they love them and everything else, but then you've got a lot of guys in jail that are on the drugs, that are like, they're rattling and stuff, they need the drug, it does funny things to them, and then they're using the woman on the out. The woman's like thick as anything, oh yeah, I'm in love, he loves me and stuff like that, right? Doesn't really put any money, when you're sending him money, he doesn't put it on the prison pin because he's too busy getting drugs and stuff, right? Doesn't really chat to you or anything, doesn't really write to you, but you come up, you're running around, you go and see him on visits and stuff, right? So it gets him out of his cell for an hour, you're buying him clothes, sending him clothes in, you're sending him postal orders in, or wire payments via PTS payments, you go and meeting people on the outside to give them money for drugs, or you're wiring money to people on the outside for drugs and stuff, right? And then when the prisoner gets out, he'll just fuck you off because he's using you to get what he needs while he's in prison. It goes on that way, guys. It really does. Now, like I say, I'm not trying to blow the lads up, but there's some very like thick women that are very naive and are not very street smart and stuff, right? And that they're being taken a piss out of, right? And I don't like people being taken a piss out of at the end of the day. Like I say, substance abuse amongst prisoners is rife. Like I say, you're locked behind your door for sustained periods of time. Stranger age, you're talking 22, 23-hour days. Other prisons, depending on what regime you're running, you're getting out for longer, and etc. It goes on that way. But yeah, so if you're like love struck and think, oh well, he's asking me money, because what they'll just kick off. They'll be wanting money once a few weeks, then it'll be once a week, then it'll be twice a week, right? And you're running around on the outside, right? Getting them, running around for them, sending them money, going on visits and stuff. And going on visits, guys, right? You don't necessarily go in to visit the prison that's local to you, because obviously people end up in prison hundreds of miles away from home. So you're travelling. Then you've got the petrol, you might have to stay in an hotel if you've got an early morning visit and stuff, right? Trains, if you don't drive. Then you've got the food on the visit, then you're travelling back, then you're buying them clothes, then you're sending them money in for the prison phone or for the canteen, which is then going to the drug dealer because they're buying items on the canteen. Then you're wiring money to people on the outright. And then when the guy gets out of jail, like, he'll just use the girl and then he'll just get rid. It's as simple as that. It goes on, guys. I'm sorry to say, it goes on. There are some very thick women out there and some family members that think the sun shines out of the kids' arses, right, or the loved ones' arses, and thinks that we don't do anything wrong and stuff. Like I say, prison's a very selfish place, guys. People do what they need to do to get by and survive and stuff like that. But yeah, it just goes on that way. And the thing is, guys, what you got to remember, right? where there's drugs, right, there's debt. And where there's debt, there's intimidation, bullying and violence, right? Now, like I say, if you're being given drugs on tap, right, in prison, you can't run away from your drug dealer, can you? No, right? So you've got to pay up, because if you don't pay up, right, you'll end up on OP's own protection, which means you get out for half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening, because you're locked up because you fear of being done in because you owe money. Right. I've seen it, guys. I've seen it firsthand. I was a cleaner in Forest Bank on my last stretch. 3 of the lads, right? 2 of them I was very good friends with, and the third lad I was really good friends with. He started to steal steal items from the other cleaners and stuff to pay for drugs from other drug dealers on the wing. It just goes on that way. And the thing is, addiction, right? Like I say, addiction's a horrible thing, guys. I've never taken drugs myself. I've lived a hard life. I've never turned to alcohol, and I've never turned to drugs. But I understand why people do. But the point is when you're in prison and stuff, I think some people are under the illusion that you're in prison, you're not allowed drugs, you're not allowed mobile phones. But drugs are rife in prisons, mobile phones are rife in prisons. You've got corruption with prison officers bringing it in, people smuggling it in on visits and stuff, spice paper, etched into clothes, stitched into clothes. You've got drones, you've got over the wall, you've got smuggling where you plugged it and stuff like that out of the prison pocket or the anal cavity, however you want to dress that up. Drugs get into prison every which way, guys, right? They're bringing in body scanners and metal detectors and all this sort of stuff, right? And boss chairs, body orifice security scanning chairs, things like that. They're trying to counter it and stuff like that. But the reality is, drugs are everywhere in prison. So, like I say, people get offered drugs on tick. They take it, and that's it, guys, right? And like I say, the lads that you normally wouldn't say boo to a goose and are right, decent people, even though it's crazy to say because you're in prison, they'll step over their own mother to get to the drugs. They'll start telling you that you can get fined in prison and stuff like that, but like they'll be saying, oh, well, I've been fined for smashing my cell up, right? They probably haven't. They're probably lying to you, but they want the money. So they're trying to tell you, oh, well, I'm putting money on my prison phone and I'm buying items on the canteen, and then I'm paying my fine, right? In reality, they're probably locked behind the door. They're not fucking. They don't owe money. They're not getting fined or anything like that, and they're just simply addicted to drugs. And it's consuming their life and stuff like that. And like I say, spice is super addictive. I was talking to a lad in prison who was a former heroin addict who tried spice to see if he could wean himself off the heroin, became addicted to spice. What does that say for the super addictive nature of spice and everything else? Like I say, the people in prison, not everyone, but you'll get guys that are lying, or the postal order hasn't arrived and stuff like that. When it has, it's cleared in their account, but they're so the families are ringing the prison, kicking off, or the missus. They'll come out with every which excuse. They'll lie to you till you're blue in the face, right? And this is the thing, you can't trust a liar, can you? And it goes on, guys, it really, really does. So like I say, there's these women out there, though, that are like, honest to God, they're like, oh no, he loves me and stuff like that. He's saying that we'll be friends, and then when he gets out, we'll see how we go. That's a guy that's using you to get what he wants while he's in prison, telling you what you want to hear because he wants to buy drugs. Right? He wants to use you. And you get these women that are running around buying tracksuits, going on the visits, might be paying rent for him on his flat. They're sending him money in, they're buying him clothes, they're wiring money, they're sending money into the drug dealers on postal orders and stuff like that. Like I say, there's so many different things, right? And the woman's naive and thick and stupid, right, where she's actually being used, but she's not clicked on, she's not switched on. She thinks she's a bit naive, she's a bit gullible, because women love a bad boy, don't they? Right? And the thing is like, oh yeah, but he likes me and stuff, and all he's doing, he's sat on the wing telling the lad, yeah, fucking hell, like she's sending me naked pictures, right? Because you get these girls that send pictures in where like you're sending naked pictures and stuff. Some screws will let them in, some screws won't, depends on if you've got a screw that's a job's worth or not. So you're sending naked pictures, you're running around for him, you're sending him money in for drugs, you're meeting people on the street to hand over money, or you're wiring money into bank accounts and stuff, right? And he sat there, like, sat in his cell, chilling, like, yeah, man, she's doing everything for me, right? Some guys will appreciate it, but other guys are just like, you know what, taking her for a ride. When I get out of jail, they've not had sex in months, years, right, however long they've served. So they're like a dog with 5 dicks when they get out, and they go in dick in the wick and everything. They fire you off and stuff. You're devastated. You feel like a mug because you've been mugged off, right? And you've been pied off, and it goes on that way, guys. It's simple as that. But yeah, people need to clue themselves up and stuff. Like I say, just because you're in prison and stuff. Well, convicts, guys, guys, right? And we have to make the best of a worse situation and stuff. And like I say, prisoners are very selfish and stuff, and they'll lie and they'll do what they've got to do, and they'll tell you what you want to hear because you're supplying them drugs, you're getting them drugs, you're bringing the drugs in, you might be buying the drugs, you're running around for him, you're sending him naked pictures, and you're being taken a piss out of. And like I say, same with family members as well. Family members are there, like they're going without, or they're struggling and stuff like that, and they're having demands put on them by the prisoner. Send me this, send me that, I need to get this. And when you ring, if you ring them and stuff, or when they ring you, if they're all they're asked about is money, that should tell you exactly where the priorities lie. They're addicted to drugs now. Some people tell you on VDTs, which is voluntary drugs testing, or they'll tell you that oh no, I don't take drugs, no, I'm not on anything like that. Because the guys lie, the liars, because they want that drug and they don't want you to cut their supply off. And like I say, when they get out, they still have that addictive tendency. They end up committing crime, getting breached, and getting recalled and going back to prison. It goes on that way, guys. Right, guys, I'm going to leave this video here and stuff, right? Hope you're liking the videos. Thank you for all your comments and your likes and your all the subscribers and everything, and all your great comments. If you need a video doing, guys, contact me and I'll always happily do it. Speak to you soon, guys. God bless. Bye.